Hi guys, we're in booklet 2, and in booklet 1 I covered already section G writing, so I'm not going to cover this again. This is the grammar, and there are 4 questions in booklet 1, 4 questions in booklet 2, so go back and watch that second or third video from booklet 1 because I'm going to skip it, and I'm going to move to, on page 69, the real life problem. So this is about a real Canadian who encounters a problem, which is why I have entitled it the real life problem. And for this I've given you a bit of an organizer, and this is sort of a plot graph. Not very sophisticated, but it is time moving forward and then problems increasing in intensity. And that's really what the paragraphs in that section do, is they introduce us to a person and then their problems, and then the problems escalate and there's a solution. And I find a lot of the readings in the literacy test are doing some sort of coaching for students, like this is how to overcome adversity, this is how to apply to OYAP, that sort of thing. So what I would suggest for this, because it is the longest reading task, is that you do in fact read the multiple choice questions first. So you can see that the reading on page 70, it has a picture. It actually has 2 pictures. They always have 2 pictures, and they have a number of paragraphs. So a stunning comeback to an elite sport, and there's a picture of a young person there who's obviously attached to some medical equipment. So start by studying the headline, the image, and then the second image on 71 is obviously, this person is doing some sort of high jump sport. So an elite athlete, I'm assuming that they're competing at the national level. Great. And then I would, instead of, like, we've made some inferences there on the title and the image, and then I would, instead of reading the article, read the multiple choice questions. So let's do that together now. Where was Cheney living when she was diagnosed with kidney disease? Again, these questions give us lots of information about what we are about to read. So they sort of prime us in terms of drawing on our prior knowledge, making inferences and connections to our own experiences before we read. So I do think that this is quite valuable, especially for this one. This selection, the real life problem, is only multiple choice. So read the multiple choice questions, and if you want, you can read the answers. I don't generally recommend that for the literacy test because I think we get sort of attached to one response. So my suggestion, and you decide what works best for you, is to read just the questions, do the reading, answer the questions through the process of elimination, and then only change answers when we have new information by going back and reading the selection again. Question 2. Early on, how did Cheney demonstrate her dedication to high jumping? How is the information in paragraphs 1 to 3 organized? So now you know you're not just reading for content, but you're reading for structure as well. So you need to pay attention. So mark that. Okay, paragraphs 1 to 3, is it chronological, the order in which it occurred? Is it problem solution? Look, what's happening there structurally? What is the purpose of the dashes in paragraph 1? So there's going to be dashes in between a few words. Again, by reading the questions, we're going to pay special attention. That may save you time. As you read after you read this question, when you're reading the article itself, you could answer this as you move through it. These are on the page questions. Some of them, they do rely on inference, so those you may have to finish the selection before answering the questions. But for some of these, I think you could just answer them as you went along on your Scantron sheet. So you have that beside you, it's separate, you've got the booklet you're reading, and you're answering there. 5. Why is paragraph 5 important to the selection? Again, you're not going to be able to answer this until you finish the entire reading. 6. Which word is closest in meaning to deterred in paragraph 7? You may know that word, so you could answer that right away even without reading the selection. You know what to deter means. Great. You find its synonym, you answer it, you move forward. What impact did kidney disease have on Cheney? 8. Why was Cheney satisfied with her finish at the national championships? What idea connects the introductory paragraph to the conclusion? So again, that last question, you do have to read the whole selection and think about its structure. It probably comes full circle. Okay? So I'd like you to take a moment now, pause the video, and read the article. Look at the pictures, think about the questions that you've been asked, and answer those that you can answer as you move through the reading. So pause the video now, and then start it again. So I'm assuming you've read the article and you've gone through and answered the multiple choice questions. My suggestion is to take up the multiple choice questions right away. And then, if you're not sure, figure out where it is that you went wrong. Read the selection a third time and figure out why that's the answer. I find sometimes the questions in the multiple choice are a bit confusing, and it helps me if I go back and reread after I've answered, and I look at the correct response and I try to figure out why it is correct. Keep in mind, you're looking for the best possible response for the selection. That is what they ask you. So go back and figure out why that may be. So here are the answers. Take it up. And if you do need extra practice, go to eqao.com assessments, and you can always look at more real life stories. Again, these are real Canadians who have overcome a problem or difficulty. Some examples that I've seen is about a woman who rehabilitates horses and makes special horse treats for them. So I don't remember any of the other ones. I would say that's probably because the topics are not overly memorable, although these people's stories are inspiring. Again, plot it on the graph, problem to solution, think about how that escalates, and then answer the questions after you have read the questions, read the article, and then gone through the questions again. As a reminder, as always, only change multiple choice questions when you find out new information. Find more of these if you need to, but keep in mind it's just multiple choice and there's always 9. Thanks, guys.